You know what, Neb? 95% of Pirates' season is going to be like this. You see, in the PSL, when you're a top team, like Pirates is, a lot of your weaknesses are going to be covered by the fact that you're clinical. And if there's one thing about Pirates is that they are very clinical this season. And I've said it before, when they need the goal, they go and get the goal, especially if you're playing against an open team. You see, what I liked about this game was that it was an open game. Baroka came out and they said, you know what, guys, we also know how to hold the ball. You can tell that Baroka is the team that holds the ball. But as with most of the teams that have come up against Orlando Pirates, if you don't do anything with that ball, you're going to wake up and Pirates will have won. You see, the first half was balanced. The second half, I think Baroka played some football. They had some chances. As I always say, you will always get chances versus Orlando Pirates, but it's up to you to take them. But the difference is that today, when Pirates finds the weakness and smells blood, they take advantage. You see, Mabasa doesn't have to be in the game for most of it for him to come out with a hat trick. He's a finisher. He loves the box. You see, Tito doesn't have to be effective for a lot of that game for him to come out and have 2 or 3 assists. That is the strength of Pirates. You see, today, yet Pirates could still come out with the win because that is what Pirates has become this season. A team that scores. The first half was boring. The first half was listless. I had people telling me that Pirates was fatigued and that you can see the fatigue and the tiredness of the boys. And that is how that first half panned out. And I think if Baroka made one mistake, it was coming into this game and actually playing football. This should have been a frustration game for Baroka. So let's talk a little bit about the makeup of Pirates. Makaula and Dlamini are not a midfield that can play together. They're not. Over and above the defensive part of the game where Makaula's overworked there in the middle, and also knowing that Koki and Sibisi are behind him, they work him too hard. That's the one aspect of this. Defensively, Udlamini doesn't pull his weight. I think he was at fault for the free kick for the goal that Baroka scored, but defensively he doesn't pull his weight. But it's all part of the system, because the secondary part of that is that you can't build the ball properly. The first half and the second half was a little bit different because when Undlondlo stepped onto the pitch, you could tell that, okay, when they have a deep-lying playmaker and they don't need Utito to be all the way back fetching the ball, it is a really good team. But the problem is that in the second half, you had Dlamini standing next to Ndlondlo. And when the defensive duties started happening and Mayela was on the pitch, it broke apart a little bit. So you could tell that, okay, there is a balance that is needed in that Pirates midfield, but it's not going to come from Dlamini and Makaula. There was some joy that was had by Baroka in terms of how they were playing. And maybe Nabo, they got a little bit too overconfident because they came out, they pushed up, and like I said, Pirates on a transition or when they win the ball back up high is a team that tries to hurt you as quickly as possible. And once you allow Abotito to roam free and you start following and you don't have a proper DM setup, a proper defensive midfield setup, the touches in the final third become a lot more. And it became a lot worse later on in the game as Baroka was trying to chase that game a lot more. So I think Baroka, as valiant as it is to come out and play the game and want to play pound for pound, Pirates is just better quality-wise. There was a funny moment where Baroka was on a counter and their striker, Ntlabate, I think it is, tried to push the ball past CBC and outpace him. And CBC was like, no. Angisabi wena. Ngiyabasaba abo Reynas ngepace, ngiyabasaba abo Ribeiro, but not you. Okay, so I know I stopped the video a lot and a lot of you are wondering, why are you asking for money? So I wanted to show you. I asked for money because I want to do more of this. Huh? But the truth of the matter is that it took over an hour in order just to render that shot. And it takes even longer when I'm doing my normal content because, guys, Here's the unsung hero of the channel. And unfortunately, Shem, but the screen is broken. I have to use a second screen and the performance is not up to it. So I'd really love to upgrade things like that. And when you look over here, this is what the setup looks like. Rehenga di patro and rehenga di green screen, which is a reality of being a South African content creator. Also, this is what people think is my studio. It's actually my house. So if you still don't know that I'm doing all of this from my home, then I don't know. But that is essentially what I want to do. More of these cool things. But I need you guys to please help me out by donating 50 Rand or more into this account. You know, we're fighting for multi-choice. And multi-choice, but these subscription models all over the place. And I'd love to give the biggest quality while also being able to pay my rent and do things like that. That is where your money is going. And I promise to give you only the best content that I can if you do throw something in. So I just wanted to show you guys what I want to do with your money. I want to take this South African football and fulfill my dream of taking it into the future. But thank you guys so much. Remember, this is the bank account that you deposit into. Get back into the video. What should worry Pirates, a little bit, not a lot, what should worry Pirates is the fact that they give away so many chances. Is the fact that they don't have control of games. For much of the game, they're not in control. Because when you start playing ping pong with certain other teams, you will get punished. And I don't want Pirates to fall into the age-old trap that Mamelodi Sundowns falls into, where they win ugly, they win disorganized, they win whatever, and they start to believe that they're winning, that the way that they're playing is what's winning them the games. Because there will come teams that will target you. They will target your weaknesses. When Van Rooyen comes inside to invert and doesn't go back, when Marco pushes up and doesn't go back, when your center backs start having to win balls by the byline. I speak about that a lot. That Van Rooyen, the way angekho ngakhona most of the time, Oki or even Sesane, but Oki in this game has to go out. There was I believe it was the yellow card, but there was a tackle that he had to make by the throw inside because they're all covering. And when they're all covering and chasing the ball like that, that's when the opportunities come. Now, like I said, 95% of the league games are going to play out like this. Even the cup games, they're going to play out like this. They're going to come out, take advantage of the 2-3 chances they get, go home. Not having played well. Mamelodi Sundowns used to come out, win 1-0, a lot of 1-0s, carry last minute kitchen sink. And when you finally asked questions, similar to what happened in the game versus Sundowns, you're going to be found wanting. So every criticism I give to Pirates is not because Pirates is bad or whatever. It's because, guys, there's going to be games that come that are going to need you to be awake all the time. And you cannot lose control versus some teams in very important games. But I want to give Pirates credit. What I enjoy about Pirates is that they've got different ways to play, which is very interesting. I noted earlier that Ndlondlo came in and the game started changing in terms of how Pirates was going up with the ball. And Ndlondlo was taking a little bit of responsibility of playing the ball. That's one way that they can play and change a game. I'm interested to see what they do when Makhupa's on the pitch, or if they were to pair Ndlondlo with a Makaula, or they were to bring in a Tim and Makaula pairing, or they were going to play Dlamini in the 10, for example. I'm still interested to see, but it tells you that there is a little bit of quality there with the Orlando Pirates. Another thing that I will jump onto the rooftops and speak about is the mentality of the Pirates. Yes, I'm talking about winning easy. Yes, I'm talking about some of the criticisms, but the run that Pirates is on, I think that just shows you that last season and the seasons before, especially in the league, Orlando Pirates wasn't losing because Orlando Pirates was a bad team. They were losing because they weren't all there all the time. The slips that they would have would be because of themselves, not because of anything else. And I think another thing that Pirates reminded us of in this game is that, yes, it can be boring. Yes, we don't have control. Mara, when we start moving and Tito gets into his mode and he's higher up the pitch, the amount of movement they can conjure up, the ways they can move your defense around. If you think about the back heel that Tito did, the little back flick for Mabasa, if you think about the 1-2s they played at the box, if you're not defensively sound, yes, this Pirates team might not be in the game. Mara, when you're not defensively sound, they don't mind scoring 3. I think this is a reminder of the type of striker Mabasa is. Keep him in the box. Allow him to sniff out chances in the box. Don't make him drop. Don't make him do anything. It's going to be tough because playing in the box means that you don't interact with the ball a lot. But I think his presence in the box helps Abotito find the space. I think Baroka should have been a little bit more pragmatic with the way that they approached the game. I think you needed to have more discipline, especially at the base of your midfield. And maybe if you were to frustrate them a lot, you would have gotten something out of this. But they weren't able to. And maybe it's just a talk of quality. But to be fair to Pirates, Pirates is one of the top teams in Africa this season. So again, if you don't take advantage of them, they will take advantage of you. And that is what Pirates has. And they move on in their defense of this title, this Nedbank Cup title that they're trying to win for the 3rd time and keep the trophy. But all in all, great game. I think Pirates worth the win. Just need to tighten up some of the things. I think Baroka showed up. I'm going to give them a little bit of credit. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one.